Hi, awesome, lovely people, because only awesome, lovely people jump on my lives and watch my videos, right? So if you're someone who eats throughout the day, you have cravings, or you eat until you are absolutely full, then this video is for you. I'm Avishai L, certified raw food educator and holistic health coach, helping the professional and entrepreneurial, open-minded and empathic woman get rid of their stress, drop those pounds, and create the life they deserve through nutrition and lifestyle changes without sacrificing their food favorites and authenticity, because at the end of the day, you have to be true to who you are, right? Because if we're not ourselves, then who are we really? So I wanted to do this video because there's so many people who do not know that they're walking around with type 2 diabetes, with metabolic disease, with so many diseases that they don't even know. And it's all due to overeating. There's so many people who are overeating in today's society. And it's because I remember years ago when I would eat, I used to think, oh, I'll eat when I'm full. I have to feel tired when I'm finished eating. That was my definition of feeling satiated. And as years went on, I realized that that was not the answer. That actually meant I overate. So when you feel full, you're actually overeating. And there's many factors that come into play when overeating. But however, when you feel tired after eating, that's a sign that what you ate did not have the proper nutrients to energize you. It's another sign that you don't really know what true hunger is, okay? And it's also a sign that there needs to be a learning curve that's happening in terms of, your eating habits. A lot of people eat, calorically dense foods. So maybe you're also eating calorically dense foods void of nutrients. So I always say when you're overeating, when you get that full feeling, you're eating foods that are increasing your inflammation and decreasing, suppressing your immunity and decreasing your energy. So we really have to take a look at your diet, okay? And when I say diet, there's a difference between a diet and dieting. So a diet is your lifestyle. That's the way you eat on a daily basis. My diet is a vegan, plant-based diet. That's also my lifestyle, okay? When someone's dieting, aka dying, I wouldn't want to live. You're restricting your meals, you're counting those calories, you're doing it for a specific purpose and it's not for health reasons. So that's dieting. So many people overeat due to a lot of different factors and don't even know they're doing it. A lot of people overeat because they don't know that they have these beautiful innate hunger signals. And it took me years and years. I actually learned what true hunger was years ago. So there's a lot of people who are focusing on their toxic hunger signals. And your toxic hunger signals consist of your stomach growling, you're hangry as fuck, you're shaky, and you're cranky, and you're jittery. So a lot of people think that that's what overeating is. And because you're listening to the wrong hunger signals, this leads to overeating. And not only does it lead to overeating, you're putting yourself at risk for metabolic diseases, type 2 diabetes. You're putting yourself at risk for an autoimmune disorder, because at the end of the day, an autoimmune disorder is created by having a breakdown in your gut, a breakdown in your immune system. So if you're overeating, not listening to the proper hunger signals, you're putting yourself at risk for disease. And there's a lot of people that are walking around thinking that they're healthy and they're okay, but they're walking around with certain disease. And I don't want that for you, whoever jumps on this video, which is why I'm offering, this this science-backed advice to you to motivate you to start being in tune with your hunger signals. If at any time you want to join my free Facebook group, Eat Stress Away, drop a comment below and I will add you to that, because I do other lives that I don't do publicly on here. So let me know, drop a comment below if you want to join that. So that's number one, is that people are not following those true hunger signals. They're following those toxic hunger signals. And a lot of toxic hunger is created from the fact that you're eating foods that are empty calories. Let's just look at what are those Cape Cod chips or Deep River chips, right? So yes, they might say organic and non-GMO, and organic and non-GMO is great. You know, it's from the earth. You know, it hasn't been audited or edited, whatever people do to it. It hasn't been compromised. There's the word. It hasn't been compromised. However, it has safflower oil, sunflower oil, and potatoes. The potatoes were fried, okay? So they're void of nutrients. They're rich in acrylamides. And when I say rich in acrylamides, acrylamides cause cancer. Safflower oil and sunflower oil are two of the top oils that increase inflammation. When you are inflamed, this puts you at risk for cancer. This puts you at risk for inflammation and autoimmune disease, because it begins with inflammation. So let's say your diet consists of processed foods like those chips, like fried foods, like a lot of those things. You're going to be hungry right after. However, that's not true. Those are not your true hunger signals, okay? Those are your toxic hunger signals, okay? And then you got to look at the underlying issue. Why do you have to have those certain foods? So that's the emotional component of it. However, I'm looking at, you know, the physicality of it right now, which is the fact that you think that you're hungry, but you're really not. So this creates, even though those are empty calories, you are still starving your body. So what ends up happening, you end up eating more and more and more and more foods, causing weight gain, causing you to store toxic waste in your fat cells, leading you to obesity, throwing off your hunger signals, you know, and that's what leads to overeating. That's what leads to those metabolic diseases. That's what leads to what I call leptin resistance as well, which I had severely 5 years ago. And I don't want that for you, because it's like your whole life is just focusing on eating, 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 eating. Because what happens is your gut is now telling your brain, because you threw off your hormone levels, because leptin is a hormone. Your gut is now telling your brain that, hey, we're hungry all the time. And what happens? You're constantly thinking about food, food, food. So is intuitive eating the way to go? Absolutely. But knowing that intuition, that's what I work with my clients on. And if you want to work with me, you can. Absolutely. I work with them on figuring out what their true hunger signals are versus their toxic hunger signals. So again, I'll go over the toxic hunger signals. Your stomach is growling, okay? You're cranky and hangry as fuck. And you feel shaky and you feel jittery, okay? Those are signs that your diet, which is, you know, what you're eating, consists of junk foods, processed foods, sugars, high sodium intake, void of nutrients. Your body is actually crying out for nutrients. So you can even get something so bad as anemia, because anemia comes from lack of nutrients, lack of iron. Iron is an absolute necessary nutrient for the body. And when you're starving yourself, you can eat a bunch of food and still starve yourself, because there's empty calories, there's no nutrients. So you're really putting yourself at risk. You're gaining weight, but you're also, you know, losing your life in the process, and it's doing a detriment. So you want to make sure that you're following your hunger signals. Now, the other factors that come into play when overeating is definitely how your life is like. Let's look at your life, okay? And this is why I take people through a whole process. Nutrition is the gateway. We want to make sure you're creating around your peace. I know from working with professional women and entrepreneurial women, it's easy to get really, really busy, really, really busy. And you feel like you don't have the time to make those healthy meals. Okay. So what ends up happening is you get stressed, you get overwhelmed. There's meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. You feel like you don't have time for yourself. And what you end up doing is, popping some popcorn or eating that Snickers bar, eating that Kit Kat bar because you want that energy, right? Because you think sugar gives you energy. However, sugar really negatively affects your white blood cells. And because it's void of the necessary nutrients, you're going to end up overeating. Because again, let's go back to step one. You're not following those hunger signals because you're not aware of your natural hunger signals. This is a scary thing. So many people think they're just eating and they're eating till they're full, and you're supposed to eat until you're satiated. So stress and that boredom eating really can cause you to overeat. And then that snacking is also not good, because that's what happens when you grab that quick Snickers bar or Reese's Buttercup. You're raising your insulin levels, you're raising your glucose levels, and you're raising your dopamine levels. So you're creating that unknowingly, I'm assuming, that toxic environment for yourself, which you end up feeling more depressed, because sugar actually doesn't give you energy. It's pseudo to natural fruits and dried fruits and things that provide fiber and phytonutrients to break down that cellular wall so you can really digest, regenerate your cells. You're made up of trillions of cells. I was just doing an interview today and I was talking about the antioxidants in these foods, in fruits such as, pineapple and mango and things like that, that send oxygen to your cells. As a matter of fact, now I'm going to save that for the podcast. If you watch the podcast, you'll hear it tomorrow. It's very exciting news. You can actually literally create your entire body all over again. It's miraculous, these foods, when you really take to them. So anyway, what they can do for the body. So how to remedy this overeating? Well, you really want to focus in on your natural hunger signals, okay? And like I said, if you want to work with me on that, we can. If you want to join the free group, you can do that as well. So drop a comment below and I will happily add you to the free group. So you want to focus in on your natural hunger signals, okay? The second thing you want to do, what was the second thing? The second thing you want to do is look at the nutrient density of the foods that you're eating. Does it have empty calories, meaning, ingredients that you don't recognize, ingredients that you can't eat by themselves? Or does it have, ingredients that you do recognize? An apple will always be an apple. A chip will always have something else added to it, unless they're baked and, have a few ingredients. I'm not against chips. My clients can eat chips. They can bake them or whatever. But if it's store-bought, that's where that food label literacy comes in. The third thing you want to do so you're not overeating is making sure that that time management piece. This is why I have a 6-step method. It's truly important. I've been through it. That time management piece and creating around your piece is super important. Being prepared ahead of time. So maybe if you love donuts and you're addicted to cake. I mean, I love me some cheesecake and raw vegan donuts. Prep it ahead of time so you can be like, okay, in between meetings and I'm feeling hungry, albeit that you are truly hungry, grab something that you created that's plant-based, nutrient-dense, void of the processed junk, whether that's being high in sodium, the oils, the gluten, the shit that's gonna, make you gain weight and contribute to all of those metabolic diseases. So the donuts that I give, my clients, they're like 3 to 4 ingredients and they're yummy. You can bake them or eat them raw. You can shape them. They're amazing. You will not miss out on anything. So you want to be prepared ahead of time for that. And you also want to make sure that you're not sedentary between those business meetings or between clients. You want to make sure you're moving your body. Okay. So, hunger signals, looking at the nutrient density, making sure that you create your schedule, you prep ahead of time so you're not going to go to that drive through or you're not going to grab something that you know your body can't process. All food is not created equal. What you might think is food, it's actually sometimes it's better just to not eat at all if you're going to grab something like a Little Debbie's brownies. If you see those, high fructose corn syrup, cottonseed oil. I'm like, would you want to eat a bottle of cottonseed oil? Drop a comment below. Would you want to eat high fructose corn syrup by itself? And not to get off topic, but it drives me up a fucking wall to see high fructose corn syrup still in baby formula. And this is why some children, grow up with, diseases or degenerative diseases or, cancers and diabetes out of the womb because the parents don't know. So, and this is why I'm happy that I work with parents and I work with moms who really want to not only eat healthy for themselves, but healthy for their children. So these are ways that you can do that. I really hope this video was helpful to you. Drop a comment below if it was, and feel free to ask questions. No question is stupid when it comes to health at all. Or if you just have a comment that you want to leave, and I'll reply back to you. So I hope you have a wonderful day. If you'd love to join my free private Facebook group called Eat Stress Away, of course, because I'm the founder of Eat Stress Away and Avi. Eat Stress Away is my 3-month program. Feel free to join that. It's completely free. I go live in there. You go through units and you really, end up changing your life. So let me know how I can best support you, and have a wonderful, healthy day eating foods that satiate you, not make you feel tired and exhausted. Okay. See you tomorrow.